Hello, everyone, and thanks so much for joining us. Welcome to Create, Collaborate, Capitalize inside the creator economy. My name is Beth Brown. I'm with Brandwatch, and so excited to be joined by our incredible panelists today. We've got Jokariz right next to me, co-founder of Paris Creator Week and a creator himself. We've got Elise Hermant, Communications Director from BNP Paribas, and Pierre Allary, also co-founder of Paris Creator Week. Thanks so much for being here, everyone.
Thank you, Beth.
Thanks for having us.
So we know that the influencer economy, the creator economy, is valued at over $100 billion now, with an expectation that it will continue to grow by around 25%. So that is huge, and it represents a real shift in how companies and agencies are thinking about advertising and marketing. The creator economy is no longer a side hustle. It's really core to a larger economic and growth engine, which is really excited to see. But we want to know, what does that actually mean for brands, for consumers, and for creators themselves, especially knowing that this space is moving and transforming so quickly, right? And we also know this is of huge interest even here at Cannes. We were looking at our platform this morning, which is a social listening platform, and we saw that the creator economy was one of the most talked about themes from yesterday. There was an increase of over 624% in social conversations around the creator economy. So hopefully we can dive into all of that today. So we want to kind of start at the top, start a little bit of broad and with some context. So we're going to start with you, Elise, and want to hear from you kind of why are creators so central to communications and how brands are thinking about reaching their audiences today?
Thank you, Beth. I'm really happy to be with you guys on stage for this talk. Maybe before answering your question, a word on the context.
Yes.
I think we are no longer in a media-centric economy or traditional press economy, whatever you call it, but content creators, because they create, build, and make communities emerge, are key assets for brands. And I wanted to share some figures with you. I'm sure you know those figures, but again, they are quite impressive. The first one is on linear TV consumption. Under 25-year-old people today are watching less than 1 hour TV. It was more than 4 hours 5 years ago.
Wow.
Whereas they are watching more than 5 hours videos and streaming content. So it raises a lot of question for traditional TV program.
Yeah.
In France, investment in influence is 509 euros a year, and on top of that, 10% only are for content creators, but it's growing. It's growing every year, and it's gonna grow in the next few years. The last one is about trust. I don't know if it's a Brandwatch figure or an Avas figure, but trust, we know that especially young people, they grant creators 51% trust, and it's only 38% for brands. That's why creators are today totally unavoidable, totally key for brands. And we need to build long-term partnership with them. We need to co-create, because the traditional media recipe, unfortunately, sometimes do not work anymore.
Yeah.
The idea is not to being antagonist on that, and as a brand and as a bank, we need to connect people and to be connectors, but I think we are now in a pivot, and we need to move from a traditional media-centric approach to a more co-building, creator-oriented approach.
Yeah, and you mentioned such an important word, trust. When we were looking at our platform yesterday, we saw that one of the most important themes was authenticity, right? People were organically talking here about how much content that they're seeing at Cannes about authenticity is really resonating with them, and I think this is such a big part of the conversation around this. And I'm curious also, as a follow-up, how you guys are seeing kind of like the most impactful formats around influencers.
Yeah, maybe example on formats on what we are doing with Marc and Pierre, and it's auto-promotion moment for us, guys.
If you do it for us, it's not auto-promotion.
Yeah, I will
so
do it.
do it.
I will. Promotion for my brand and for what you are doing. We work, I will say, on top of the funnel and at the bottom of the funnel with a lot of activation. For example, we are funding partner for the Paris Creators Weeks. That was a brilliant idea a year ago, trying to create a momentum, a unique event for all the creators to debate, to dialogue, to speak, but also having traditional media. I think you have some of them as partners with agencies, and showing that this new economy is growing very fast and become even more important. And we are producing internal content on employer branding, for example. We have also podcasts, interviews, a lot of content we can use as a brand. And what we are trying to do is to have a long-term partnership with you guys, for example, because we know you need visibility, you need financial support in the long term. So even if we have tactical pockets to work with newcomers, hidden gems in the content creator area, we are really supportive for the content creator on the long term.
Yeah, that's great. And I love that you mentioned the internal communications part of it too. It's easy to think that a brand is just focused externally, but how critical this is from an internal
And it's easy for us because Mark worked for the financial industry in his previous life.
And
so
BNP.
For competitors, but I won't pronounce their name. And it's key for a brand like us to rely on Mark community that are interested in financial sector, savings, entrepreneurship. So yes, community is a real asset for us, and Mark community is key too.
Yeah, so maybe I'll kind of double click on that with you. Curious to see, like, what are the key trends that you're seeing within this growing creator economy space, and what are you most excited about?
Okay, first of all, thank you very much for having me. I'm really happy to have this conversation with you guys. So thanks a lot to Ludo and Havas and you, Beth, and BNP. To come back on what you say so that people realize, it's 100 billion revenues of creators. When we talk about creator economy, it's only the revenues of the creators, right? So YouTube has made $50 billion revenue last year, if you count the advertising model plus the subscription. It's not taken into account in this 100 billion. TikTok, 25 billion, LinkedIn, 17 billion. So it's really big. And 25% per annum, it means it double in 3 years. So in 3 years, it's 200. The biggest trends that we see is that half of this revenue for creators are brand deals, right? And platform revenues are only 20% right now, which was completely not the case 5 years ago. So today, there is room for small creators, for niche creators, because they do brand deals and because you can do a living by being a small creator. At the Paris Creator Week, we had the first study on the creator economy in France. And so there were 300,000 creators, and half of them are nano creators, creators with less than 10K followers. Why do we take them into account? Because these nano creators weigh in France 1.5 billion euros out of the 7 billion French market. So yeah, they're huge, and you can make a living from being really niche. And 5 to 10 years ago, they were only entertainment creators, video gaming creators. Like you needed to do million of views to make a living out of it. And today you can be a niche creator. So that's the biggest trend we're seeing, and that's why I think we have a collaboration with a bank like BNP Paribas, with a niche creator like us on career, on finance, and that's a lot of opportunities for a lot of creators and brands today.
Yeah, it's such a great point. If we have any aspiring creators in the audience, like, I think it's easy to be overwhelmed by the prospect of it. You think, I see these people who have 2 million followers, that's the only way to be successful, but that's not true, right? Like, you can have an impact even at a smaller scale.
Yeah, exactly. I always give this example of imagine a wine creator. Okay, you're passionate about wine and you have 10K followers, but these 10K followers are collectioners, restaurants, and so there's a lot of B2B influence. And you can imagine that Bordeaux Chateau will have a lot of interest to go through these niche creators to sell their wine production. So
Yeah.
that's I think an easy example to understand how niche creators can really make a living out of their content creation.
Yeah, fantastic. And Pierre, I'm curious, I mean, you speak to people throughout this ecosystem, right? Whether they're brands, creators, strategists in this space. What are some of the things that you're hearing most consistently from them? What are some of the trends you're seeing?
First of all, I'm also very happy to be with you guys today and to share this panel with you. As Elise said, we created Paris Creator Week to have this kind of space where people meet and talk about what's happening in the creator ecosystem. What we are witnessing is that everything is becoming more professional. So smaller creators, they realize they need a production, they need a structure. Brands, they realize that it's very hard to talk to very small creators and actually work with them on a larger scale. So what we observe globally is that all the creators, they are going from platform revenue to brand deals to company making. Now, creators are launching their company, and finally they have an empire. Like you see, MrBeast with their chocolate business. But Paris Creator Week is actually a business that was created from the community we had with the Jokariz. So this entire market is really becoming something very structured with actual companies working in there. And it's a brand new world for agencies and brands, not to be talking to only one creator now, but actually full-on companies. And being at Paris Creator Week and seeing this whole environment, we're very excited to see all those universes merge. So you have the cinema, the agencies, the creators, and the brands, and they are reshaping the way